Okay, so what I wanted to do, the next section is I'm going to just give you 6 ideas, 6 key things on great spaces to take into account. So first of all is forget technology. And by forget technology, I mean have the best technology in a space, but it needs to be as simple to use as breathing. I shouldn't have to call an IT guy because I move from this room to the other room. Microsoft stated that the first 8 to 12 minutes of every meeting in the world is wasted on trying to figure out how the technology works. Multiply it up by how many people are in a meeting, how many meeting rooms there are for a whole day, and you start getting a very scary number. So it needs to be super easy to use. On the psychological side, it's just as bad. If I have to do a presentation to external people, that can be stressful. If you have to do a presentation to your internal colleagues, it's much worse. And if I have to figure out how the tech works because you've got a Mac and I've got a Dell, it really becomes a really stressful environment to even just communicate. So we have to get the basics right. I see a lot of organizations trying to start well-being initiatives when they haven't got the basics right. And this is what we have to do first. First, get the basics right before you can do all the other elements. Next up, the next big thing isn't for you. I keep seeing these wonderful, cool initiatives that work for certain companies, and then other companies come to me and say, oh, I saw that treehouse, I want that treehouse. And I go, no, you can't have that. And they go, well, why not? I say, I know that treehouse. I've been to that office. It's in the noisiest space. The staircase is too steep so everyone can see up your dress, and no one uses it. So it looks pretty in a magazine, but it doesn't work at all. At all. So we can find that, what's right for someone else could work for you, but you can't copy someone else's culture over into your organization. You have to grow organically. Even companies, I go into spaces and I see people have a pool table, but it's untouched. And I know exactly why. Because the noise a pool table makes when the balls crack is so loud that people feel they're intruding into other people's work, which means no one uses it. Which means every time you see the pool table, you're like, our company sucks, look at it. They just didn't think about the noise level. So we have to get what's right for your organization and implement it that way. Next up, we got making a beautiful mess. Can I see just here with the honest raise of hand again, here, raise of hand, who has a very messy desk? So I've got a super messy desk. Again, just about half. It's working out perfectly. The thing is, you cannot force someone who loves a messy desk to work in a pristine, clean desk. And you cannot force someone who loves a clean desk to work in a messy desk. We're motivated with the environment that we create around us. And if you force someone to do the opposite, it's a 9-hour reminder every single day that you're not allowed to be you, which is shocking. And I've seen people leave organizations based on that. Now with this, fine, there are tricks around it. You can have a clean desk policy at the end of the day, but on the day, allow people to do the work the way that they want to do it. Just judge them on the result. Next up, we got workers are shoppers. Now, people are more motivated if they are allowed to work the way that they want to work on a specific day. If we have the right and the 2 most powerful words in the world of workplace, variety and choice, we can choose where we want to go based on the tasks that we have to do. For most people, they can't sit at one space and try and get all their work done. They can't. When that happens, then they put the headphones on, and the headphones are getting bigger and brighter, and they don't work. They just don't work. So we need the right variety of spaces and the ability for you to choose where you want to go and work. It's so powerful and empowering to have that actual option. So workers are shoppers. They want to choose where they want to go work because our days are different. I might want to sit on my own. I might want to focus. I might want to sit with everyone else, but it has to be a choice. Next up, we say, we feel before we think. Now, this is one of the most important points I hope you remember from this talk. We as humans, our first impression lasts. When someone walks into your office, when someone walks into your space, you have almost 7 seconds to create a long-lasting impression. In those 7 seconds, someone decides whether they're going to work for you. in those 7 seconds, someone decides whether they're going to work with you, whether they're going to be associated with you, whether they're going to buy from you. So what is that first 7 seconds like? How do people feel when they come into your space? If it doesn't blow them away, you got a serious, serious problem. Actually linked into this, there's a guy called Neil Usher who wrote a book, The Elemental Workplace. And one of his key points is to the ultimate office, the ultimate employee experience is you need a fantastic toilet. And I'm dead serious about that. When I go to the toilets, I shouldn't have to see someone else's shoes sitting next door. You know, are you giving someone sandpaper or are you giving them a cloud? It has an impact on how people feel about you. I know what people think about their business by going to use their restrooms. I get a clear understanding this is what you think of your staff. And it's part of that first impression that lasts. It really lasts. When someone comes into your space, I'm just going to use it. What is the feeling you create? A really big thing, we feel before we think. Now, I do get the question a lot when we're trying to look at the future and people ask me, Bertie, where are we going to work in the future? Is it going to be in a bubble at home? And I don't think so. And this is the reason. I can come up with a good idea, you can come up with a good idea, but together we can challenge each other and turn it into something incredible. Turn it into something amazing. The ultimate evidence for this is co-working. Co-working has brought millions of people out of their home offices into an actual office because we're social, because we want to connect. We really want this. There's one little side note that I'm always interested to mention to people, just to explain the key differences between us when it comes to variety and choice. In psychology, there's something called the arousal theory. Now, I'm going to ask you all to just use your imagination here. So the arousal theory is an inverted U shape. It works like this, just like that. And it's about the zone of stimulation that people like to be in. Now, if you haven't noticed, I'm an extrovert. Extroverts, believe it or not, have a very low level of arousal, a low level of stimulus. So when I start my day walking into the office, I start right at the bottom, right over there. And then I crave loads of color on the walls, music playing, impromptu meetings, me trying to high-five everyone, and I get to my highest level of stimulus, my ultimate level of productivity. But if you listen to Susan Cain, 48% of us are introverts. Introverts walk into the office already highly stimulated, right at the top. And then where do we put that person? Right next to me, where there's loads of color, noise, music, me trying to high-five them, and they drop to their lowest level of stimulus because they're overstimulated, completely overstimulated. So one spot in the office can have two of the exact opposite effect just on two different personality types. And one of the simplest and best ways that we resolve all these issues is variety and choice. Oh, it's too noisy in this spot. I'm just going to go sit over there. Oh, I just need a little bit more light. I'm going to go sit over there. It's too hot. It's too cold. I am going to go sit over there or over there. I need to take a private phone call. I want to socialize. Variety and choice solves all those issues. Finding the right mix in every organization. Because the key thing here is you can't get everything done from one specific seat. Cool.